My name is JonJon Sarmiento, and they call me Farmer John in my country. And I'm a full-time farmer, an agroecology farmer, and practicing agroecology farmer, and also a development worker. So a community organizer dealing with this strengthening farmers organization cooperatives with Pakisama, my membership organization. Pakisama is also member of Asian Farmers Association, which I represented here in the Agroecology TPP. I don't know the practice is agroecology. I started in 1998 actually with the information and awareness on the climate change impact as a farmer. Uh, I was married in 1995 and got four children, and I was worried about the impact of climate change. So that from monocrop farmer, I decided to change my cropping system to ensure that the food security of my family is in place. That's why a lot of trainings and research on how to convert my monocrop rice field into more sustainable manner. And in 2019, I joined Pagsama, and then I learned a lot about sustainable agriculture. I managed the program, and when I saw the blueprint of Pakisama, which the organization that bannering this kind of farming system, I realized that what in the blueprint is what I practice. So it just challenged me to enhance this practice and put into some kind of information about what I'm doing and then share it to the community. So, and in 2000, I went to Brazil for a forum and I first learned this agroecology approaches and uh, and uh, I started to enhance the different system and work with the principles of agroecology for the intention of to become more my farming system is more climate resilient because in my province which in my place which my farm uh, stayed, we visited 24 typhoons a year almost, and then the pipe is very strong and hit our province. So that's why I challenged to make more resilient in that case. So I developed this integrated diversified organic farming system. Now, and I converted the piece of land, a 4,400 square meter for piece of land, almost zero point 0.5 hectares. So I just retain a piece of land for the rice, for the consumption of my family. And I bring more trees. So I collected a lot of native trees. We call that multipurpose trees because one of the vulnerabilities of my farm is the wind, no? Strong wind. So I developed these windbreakers, and the windbreakers converted into feed garden for my animals, and also used for fencing for my vegetable and other uses. And then I learned that a lot of native trees become my source of medicine, as herbal medicine also, and food. So I started to develop a strong windbreakers because I experienced in 2016 very strong typhoon and from that experience I input a lot of deep-rooted native trees so to more to more combat the strong winds that can visited my farm. And then typhoons are bring a lot of water also. So floods and water. So in this case, take this opportunity to develop another component in the farm. So I put up a rice fish system. So a combination of rice and fish. It become a water collectors also that can irrigate my vegetable and other domestic needs in water system. Uh, and when I develop this rice fish system, I also integrate duck in the rice fish system. So I just put net around the this aquaculture component, and this gave me another opportunity for my livelihood and food. So I have eggs and meat and fish, and then I put a lot of snails, the edible snails, and other aquatic plants that can converted into feeds for my family and food for my family and feeds for my animals. Under the trees, I raised free-range chicken under the banana trees, because one portion of the 0.5 hectares I developed into something like orchard, and then I planted cacao and other fruit trees like jackfruit and many more. So I learned a lot of in diversity. So, and then I noticed that when I'm doing this, so there are technologies emerging. So I harvest this knowledge. So like, for example, we develop a functional diversity in the farm. So in 4,400 square meter, there's a function for carbohydrates, protein, source of manure, nutrients, and other. So I developed the functional diversity. And then one wisdom is the species diversity. One example, I collected 9 varieties of taro. It can stand with dry season, and it stand with rainy season. There are varieties that stand in the rainy season. So I inspired to collect different local varieties. So I call that a varietal diversification and species diversification. And then the farm is adjacent to the river and a drainage canal. So I developed a strong riparian corridor, so which I planted different kind of shrubs and edible ferns that can support the whole system in the farm. So after 2 decades of doing this, now the farm is very sustainable. So 90% of our food came from the farm. And now we develop a farming system that can stand with different extreme weather condition. That's what I'm doing now. And unintentionally, no, the unintended outcome of the intervention of agroecology in 2 decades, it's become a learning tourism, a learning hub for the farmers and other institutions. So I registered my farm as the School for Practical Agriculture with the Department of Agriculture, and then become a learning sites. And now we're going to a farm tourism, a model farm, a farm tourism for a small scale holder farmer. So, and because there's a lot of things in the farm, so I can develop now different product in the value chain. So we are now going to resto farm, and the next 5 years, so it become a resto farm. So that's what I'm doing now. The farms become my laboratory and experiment because I always follow the principle of proactiveness and participatory, no? And I ask farmer to visit my farm and then show the technology that I implement, and then I'm happy to share that there are many people, many farmers visit my farm. They inspired, and then they converted also their farm now. So because they saw the benefits of agroecology. I call that also a permaculture because I study permaculture. No? All the components are permanent now, and the principle of permaculture also is there. I use a natural farming system also. I work with microorganisms. For example, I replace all the input from outside, no, to more sustainable, in the sense that all the materials that I need to sustain the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the basic major macronutrients in the farm, and the micronutrients is in place in the farm. So that's why my farming system now it's quite sustainable, and it can stand with different weather events and the climate change. I am a farmer, and I grow up in a four family farmers without a property. You know, so my father is a tenant, and this is inspires me most. And in my younger days, I did not used to play, and then I used with the environment, the ecosystem, and suddenly there's a sudden uh, part of my life. My father again in my early days, and I take over the the farms. When I have the power to change the farming system, so I learned how to I engage with one of the organization dealing with this seed banking, and as a missionary also, my farming system also a faith-based farming because I'm a Catholic, and work with the social action work. So the foundation of my farming system actually is the ecological integrity of creation. So that's why the technology come from different trainings, seminars, and conferences, and I study also. So self-study, no? And but one major thing is the farming system itself. My farm is my university. My farm is my school. So and then I love also writing. So I write all the experiences, all the experimentation in the farm, and then convert it into a module, and convert it, and then share it to the other farmer, and even the research institution. I'll sell the knowledge what I have. So I got in the farming system that I practice. So and formally I got certificate course on sustainable agriculture, social enterprise, and community development as a community organizer. So I always look for solutions on the problem. Yeah, Pakisama and AFA, they are now my network, and all this experience are we put in one manual. No, because Pakisama have this blueprint of IDOPS and in how to do it in the farm level. I contributed that. So we developed a manual for the integrated diversified organic family farming system manual. So and how to do it, no, in the past. And then to date, we are doing the second version of the farm. So put an enterprise component on the farm planning on the agroecology. So all that is from the experience. All that from the experience. And then I got technical person who put that in the context. So I just relay and tell my story, tell that the different experience in the farm, the different technology that I use, and then we with the natural scientists, the writers, and I. So we sit down and then develop it into a manual actually. I will always say the mantra, no farmer, no food. And to have a collective power, we need to organize ourselves into a cooperative, into association. And that's why we collectively bring these voices to the other sector, especially to the government. Because we know that position is power, or like something like that. So we position ourselves as an organized groups, no? And not only our organized groups, an intellectual group, no? We have the knowledge. So we collect all the knowledge of the farmer and then put into one system to how to share it. We bring our resources together, like seeds, no? And relational, no? Just a power of relationship. So that's why we engage different sectors. We do partnership, linkaging, and networking with the government and the other institution, private and public, and also financial institution. So, and that's why we exercise this power to address the insecurity of the farmer. That's why even I myself, I package myself as not an ordinary farmer. I'm a farmer, John. No, I have my own seeds. I have my own technology. I have a teneural security on my farm. No, and I have this kind of resources that I need to grow. But it's not limited to that. No, we need to leverage what we have and then ask people to come together to support and love farmers. Because no farmer, no food. Yeah, especially agroecology TPP is very important this date, no? This to date, today, this era of climate change, because there's only two things of systems in the agricultural system now. One is we go to the genetic engineering or the precision technology that's involved mining and alternation of genes and control of the whole system, or we go to the path of enhancing the culture, enhancing the community knowledge, restoring the essential factor of the environment to sustain the food system. So there are only two things that we need to choose to. So I chose the agroecology. So that's why it's very important. This kind of partnership, this kind of platform is very important for the farmer to adapt and to mitigate the impact of climate change. In COP in Brazil and in France. No? There's a lot of talk from the government and the other sector, but the action is very slow. Uh, and I hope that in local level, if we empower the local level, if we put local policies, I think it's more meaningful and it's more tangible, no? It's more practical to deal with these local policies because it's not far from the reality. So that's why I decided to run for a public local policy arena. I ran for a councilor in my place because our place is one of the food producing municipality in our province. We have this kind of rich biodiversity. We have uh, lakes, we have rice fields, no, rivers, and watersheds. No? We have also indigenous peoples in that area. But there's a big threat, in our livelihood. There's an application of the biggest nickel project in Asia in our community, and farmer also are, like they are not so aggressively now to engage into farming. The vision of farming is degrading, and I'm afraid to collapse the capacity of the farmer to dream again for better. So that's why I run for public office to inspire many farmers that we can do a lot of things if we engage the government, because the government has the power to do a lot of things in agriculture, because they have the resources, they have the commercial power, and many more. Smallholder farmers very important and essential in the food sectors. We feed the world. Don't be afraid to do a lot of innovations, and take the courage to lead the food production system and fight for injustices in our sectors. Stand up and then raise our pride that we smallholder farmer are very essential for the humanity. So don't be shy to to stand up that we are farmers. No, we are farmers. No, be proud, we are farmers. So we fight for our land, for the tenure security, and especially there are two things to get our power, to control the power of the farming system. Get the seeds, take it into your hands, and get the land, the tenural instrument of your land. So that's the two things that and then develop our technology and make a partnership. So that's my message to my smallholder farmers.